Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So basically now today another program which we are going for practicing out the Python programming is write out a Python function that takes two lists and returns true if they have at least one common member. Now first of all read out this question very carefully that what it is asking me in the question to do. See, it is asking me that first of all I need to declare two lists, right? When it is said that write a Python function that takes two lists, and you declare out two lists here, right? Now, if it is asking me to check out that do we have at least one common member? If at least one common member we are having in both of the lists, so in that case we simply need to return out the true. This is what my question is actually asking to me. Let me just do one thing. Let me go out here onto the OneNote and let me just first of all take out some color from here so that we can proceed on with the writing. Okay. Let's say I just define out the first list, that is list underscore one, right? And let's say I just decide one, two, then let's say I have five, six, seven. Okay, let's say I have these five elements into my first list. After this, I will be writing list underscore two. Okay, into that list two, let's say I just define out some other elements, that is 2 comma 6 comma, and let's say I am having 3, I am having 10, and I am 15. Now here what is happening that in my list 1 and my list 2, see what are the two numbers which I am having here as common. First of all, this 2 and this 2 I am having common here as, right? Other than that, I am having this 6 and this 6. They both are common into my list 1 and my list 2 as well, right? So this is what my question is asking me to do, that I need to declare out two lists, right? That I have done out here. Now then it is asking me to compare between those two lists, that do I have any common elements between that list. And if I am having at least, now just remember this word here which is at least. It is asking me at least, that is if I have at least one common member, then also I need to return the final output as true. Right, this is what actually my question is asking me to do, and this is how we'll be proceeding on with the program. Right, so let me begin up with the first of all pseudocode for this program. After that we'll be implementing onto the PyCharm IDE. Okay, let me just first of all come down here so that I can write it properly. Fine, let's say I just define out one of my functions here, and let's say that is check. Okay, let's say that is check is my function, and inside this what I'll pass, I will be passing my two parameters which are list1 and which is list2, right, which I have actually taken above for comparing that do I have any common characters, any common elements in both of the lists or not. Okay, these are the two lists for which I'll be checking them out. Okay, after this I could simply take out a variable, let's say that is final. Okay, and for now I can put it as false. Now why I am just putting it as false, because as soon as I compare both of the elements of the list, so inside that condition I can just write final is equal to true. So till the point that condition satisfies, I will be getting my final answer as true, right? So this is the reason that I have mentioned here final is equal to false. After this I could simply apply my for loop. Now why I am applying the for loop, because I want to check each and every element of a list, right? So whenever we just want to go on with each and every element for any of the thing, let's say here I'm taking the example of a list, let's say that is dictionary, that is table or anything. So we just simply apply out the for loop for checking out each and every element, right? So I could simply write that for I in list underscore one. This is the one for my first list that I'll be declaring, right? Now, if this is a condition that satisfies it, come into my for loop, and my second for loop now we'll go for list 2. Okay, so let's say I would be writing for j in list underscore 2. Right, now if the condition, the control of my program has come inside both of the loops, then here what we need to check, we need to check that if I is equal to j, right? This is what actually we need to check. My question was saying me to compare that do we have any common element, at least one common element in both of the lists. This was my question which was it is asking me to do, right? So the same thing I'm checking out here. Now make sure to put out the double equal to, that is my comparison operator. Always remember that, let me write out here, that if we put out a single equal to, then that is basically my assignment operator, and whenever I just put double equal to, so that is always my comparison operator. So assignment operator is used for assigning some value to a variable, and comparison operator is used for comparing between the two numbers, right? So always make sure to remember out these things. Let me erase them here. Okay, and let me just again take out the same color which we have taken. Fine. So I would comparing that if I is equal to j, then in that case my variable which I have declared above, that was false. Now I would make it as true. As I mentioned that first I have declared that as false, and as soon as my condition is met, that is I equal to j. So I would simply put out final is equal to true here. Okay, and I would simply return out the variable that is return final, because my question was asking me not to return out the number that is common. It is asking me to return the boolean value that is true if it finds at least one element common in both of the lists. If it has asked me to put out and like display out the final number, so in that case I have written out the return statement outside to get out that element. But this was not my question, right? My question was that if I am having any common element in my list, so in that case, simply return me the boolean value that is true. So in that case, I simply wrote out return final. And after coming out of my function here, I would simply call out my function and pass out the list. So that we are just doing onto the Python. I would just not write all of the things here only because this is the pseudocode. Fine. Now this is how we'll be writing out the program. Let me just go above and explain you the working for this particular code. Okay. So for explaining the working, let me take out a different color here. Right here. Fine. Let's say these are my two lists, list underscore 1 and list underscore 2. Now what it will actually do, come here. When my for loop starts, let's say my list I'll be declaring here that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say this is my first list. And second I am having, let's say 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these are the two lists. For I in list 1, this first one is my list 1, right? I is actually referring to my index. So it will go to the very first index. For j in list 2, now j is also referring to my very first number first of all, okay? In I first index we are having 1, and for the j first index we are having 5, right? If I is equal to 0, it means that whatever number you are having at the first position in I and whatever number you are having at the first position in second list, that is your j, are they both equal? So is 1 equal to 5? No, this is wrong, right? 1 is not equal to 5. So what it will do, it will leave here and again go on to my for loop. Because I have given simply one condition, that if this condition satisfies, then come inside this condition, that is then write me final is equal to true. Otherwise leave it here and again go back to my for loop. Now it will check out for the second position. At the second position in the list 1, I am having the number that is 2. Okay. Now it will check for the second position of my list 2 as well. So I would just write here this list 2. My condition goes that if I is equal to j. So in the second position for list 1 and the second position for list 2, I am having the number that is 2. So 2 is equal to 2, right? This is the condition which satisfies. So it will come inside my if condition and from there it will print me true. That will be my answer which I'll be getting out here, right? Hope you understand the whole working of this program and hope you just got the idea. Let me go on to the PyCharm and start writing out the program so that it is much clear to you. So let's define out a function, and that is, let's say def, and okay, let me just write that as check underscore number. That is number, my function name, okay? Inside the bracket, I'll be passing out two parameters, my list underscore 1 and my list underscore 2. Right, so here we go with the list underscore 2. Fine, come on to a new line. Now here I'll be taking that variable which I have taken previously as well, that was final, and just assign it as false for now. Applying out my for loop, firstly I'll be taking all the elements in my list 1. So for I in, and it will go like list underscore 1. Okay, coming inside this for loop, my second for loop applies that for j in list underscore 2. Right, I in list 1 and j in list 2. Come to a new line and here I would apply my condition that if I is equal to j. If this condition satisfies, it simply return me result. Okay, now result was not the variable. The variable is final, right? So final is equal to and return me here as true. And simply I would use out my return function because I have used out my make out my function here, and here I'll be writing the variable that is final. Okay, f would be small for final. That's it, right? Coming out of my function. my function calling begins. So inside my printf statement, I'll be writing out my function call, and my function name is check underscore numbers, right? Um, yes, check underscore number. So that is check underscore number. And inside this, my list would be passed. Okay, let's say I'd be passing here the list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's say I'd pass here two lists. Okay, again I'll be passing another list, that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, let it be 9 only, right? That I have passed out here. Coming to a new line, again my function calling will begin because I have taken two parameters. So two times I'll be calling out my function, right? And inside the bracket, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the one which I have taken, putting out a comma, and here I have taken, let's say 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I just want to check it for two times. This one is for, this is my list 1, this is my list 2. Here again I just want to check it, this is my list 1 and this is my list 2. Okay, I would just run it out here for a while. Run here. Okay, now just have a look at what output I get here. So output which I am getting here is true, but I am simply getting one single output, not two, because now just look out here that when I have passed out list 1 in my first print statement, so the numbers which were there were 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? And my second list, that is list 2, was having 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here basically we were having one number is common, that was 5. Okay, now when I just gave it a second try, so in that second try I have taken the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is okay, but 6, 7, 8, 9, other than that I have taken. So in the second one, in the second print statement, no numbers are same to each other, and we haven't returned any particular condition that if the numbers are not equal, then do not return me this or do not return me that, right? We haven't done that. We had simply put out the condition for the if, that if these are equal, then return me true, otherwise leave it like this, right? So basically I hope that you had got a clear and a fair idea regarding that if you just got out some question like this for checking out that do they actually have at least one common member or two or three, something like that. So now you'll be able to proceed on with the program. Here I have taken the list. You can take tuple, you can take dictionary, whatever you just wish you can take, right? So hope you enjoyed this program. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.